You've got to have a place to hunt to keep the hunting heritage alive, and if you don't have access to something, pretty hard to hunt it.
28% of America's lands are public. That's 640 million acres. 16.5 million acres are landlocked, meaning they are surrounded by private lands, making them virtually inaccessible. So if we can't get to them, how do we use them? Maybe the better question is, how do we solve the problem?
You want to be able to give back somehow, and you see an opportunity, and it's like, wow, these are really, really important for the future of public land access.
It's here, in remote central Idaho, where Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation volunteers and donors have gathered for a work project. Today's work is the final touches of a project that has been 4 years in the making.
We're on a parcel that's about 23 acres. We're putting in a parking lot, an access trail, and then marking where that boundary goes then to private land so that people can easily access and enjoy the use of the public land here behind us.
But it wasn't long ago that this new parking spot would have led to nowhere.
Okay, so this project originated with a conservation buyer, and that was Eric Siegfried, who is the founder of Onyx. So this property came on the market. He volunteered to purchase the property. Then Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation bought the property from Eric for appraised value. So that was the first part of this story.
Located in central Idaho, this 23-acre plot is all that separated the public from thousands of acres of public land.
Looking at it really quick in Onyx, you could see it's just a 23-acre piece, and then you start looking at it, well, how can I get to that BLM state land? And you see a couple trailheads, and you start measuring it like, wow, that's like 6, 7, 8 miles away from any of these trailheads. I was looking at it like, would I elk hunt this down here in this BLM state land? There's no way I'd pull a bull elk out of that land.
As the grading and leveling of the new parking lot continues, volunteers prepare to begin their workday, which will consist of cutting trails and making signage.
This is an opportunity that doesn't come very often, where we can give back access to public space that has since been lost for so many people, you know, not just hunters, but outdoorsmen and really anybody who frequents public land. Being able to give back to that and make sure that these opportunities are afforded for my children, their children, and future generations is something that really resonates with me and something that I'm proud to be a part of.
Yeah, guys, just follow that line.
You know, it's kind of in our backyard here. We brought a bunch of guys out from the office to help work on this trail. It's going to allow a lot of access.
Small parcels of land like this are crucial for access to expansive public lands.
These ones were just so important to me, that small acquisitions that have a big impact, where they touch a public road and gets access for continuity of public lands.
Identifying them can be tricky, and to acquire them, there must be a landowner willing to sell.
They're not easy to come by, and I think it has to come down to community members who have relationships with the local landowners, understanding those key access points for connectivity to public lands.
Mark Hayward is one of those community members and saw that opportunity.
I'm one of those that's trying to find solutions to things. This property was for sale. Gee, if I had enough money, I'd buy that. You have access to public land and all the way over to Elk Mountain and beyond.
So in collaborations with Onyx founder Eric Siegfried, the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation, and others, this project was beginning to take shape.
I knocked on some of the wrong doors, but finally the right doors got knocked on, and here we are today.
Onyx has enabled us to see the true patchwork of land ownership, so that's why we want to also give back in these ways, where we can identify these properties that are very important and make sure we work with communities to secure them.
I actually talked to a couple hunters that are up here scouting right now, and they've used this parking area to go up behind elk and get them out. So I think it's going to get used immediately this year. Well, and actually it has. Sunday morning I came in and there was a person parked in here and walking up the hill with a bow. So it's getting used.
This irrigation canal is the last obstacle to overcome. Months prior, Jerry and Clint Whitehead of Western Trailers donated their time and material to construct a walking bridge.
Well, I think just the access and the amount of land that they could access there, and the fact there was parking, you know, even along those roads, a lot of those roads, the fence is right against the road, so you don't have a parking spot.
We've got more public land than just about any state, and access to that is so important because if it gets blocked off, you know, nobody can go out there and manage the animals.
We're really grounded in purpose when we do a project. We want to do the right projects in the right places. Right away on the map, you can just visually see that it's a stellar project. The Elk Foundation has held the property for almost a year with the goal, the ultimate goal, to convey it to the Bureau of Land Management. When the Elk Foundation holds a property for a short period of time, we try to improve it before we convey it. And in this case, with the RMEF volunteers and community members, we were able to improve it in a big way. So we look at the quality of that project and what it does for the public hunter and for the wildlife itself. In this case of Elk Mountain, the public hunter is able to access a pretty large swath of existing public lands that should be accessed.
I've been involved with the Elk Foundation for a lot of my life. You go and you donate, you go to the dinner and it's fun, and they're always talking about some project they're doing in some faraway land, you know, somewhere you don't live, you know, and this one is, you know, 10 miles from my house. For the people that are gonna listen to this, wherever this goes, is the Elk Foundation does do things in areas that matter to people, you know, maybe you don't see it in your spot right away, but it does happen.
Public lands as the freely available opportunity. We've got to secure those and always have that. That is for everyone.
The public land that you get to go have a good experience on, something had to happen in order for that to be possible, and if you have the chance to do that yourself and be part of what makes it possible, you should take the opportunity to do it.
And anytime you can work together to solve a problem instead of create one, then the whole project seems to go better.
Best way I can put it is this is a gateway. You know, the amount of habitat here is actually rather small, but it's where it gets you.
It's important to give back to the resource that you're taking and the lifestyle you enjoy to ensure it continues. So part of our mission is ensuring that future of elk, of hunting, of habitat, quality habitat, and that's exactly what we do here at the Elk Foundation.